Woo-wee. What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Couple doors down, having a party out there, so I'm not saying anything because I know how we are out here on football nights. Yeah, and I know we will come Sunday as well. It's going to be lively out here because it's Cowboys versus the Eagles. The buildup is here, and I must say, there's a lot of people out there that pretend that they know everything about me, and I will dare say very few people know everything about me. But my sister-in-law's boyfriend, I met him today. He's a Washington Commanders fan. And when he met me, he was like, oh, Lord, a Cowboy fan and everything else. He's like, you're not from around here. So actually, I am from around here. I was born and raised here, and was asking, how did I become a Cowboy fan? And I started talking about it from the perspective of being a little child. And I know a lot of people don't believe me, but I'm 57 years old. And when I first started watching football, I didn't understand it. All I knew was my dad liked the Cowboys, and I wanted to be like my dad. And that was back in the day. I'm talking about Don Meredith and everything else, and Walt Garrison as a running back, before Roger Staubach even. Remember Craig Morton going against the Colts. I don't remember the game, but I remember how upset my dad was after the game. And that's how long I've been a Cowboy fan. I will say, growing up, the rivalry between the Cowboys and Washington, because they were always playing for something, that meant something. Forgive me. That game last night in Washington versus the Bears, it killed me last night. And then I kept playing the Washington Commanders theme song. It was stuck in my head half of the night. So I'm laying there looking at the ceiling with that stupid Commander song in my head. RFK was our palace. If you don't know, you better ask about us. I was just like, oh my God, why do I do this to myself? But anyway, back in the day, there was truly hate that went back and forth. And it wasn't like there needed to be more stuff to get this rivalry going than for somebody to say something crazy. And then, of course, the other team would use it as motivation to get those guys. Well, this week is probably the closest feel to any of that growing up. Nick Sirianni basically saying, we're going to account for Micah Parsons, and D-Law saying that, they ain't facing anybody like us, which is true. I don't want to say you're frauds, but you're frauds. You can prove that you're not frauds, but shout out to Foots the King, who tweeted, and I haven't checked this up myself, but as far as ranking thus far, the defenses that you faced, you have the 31st worst schedule. 31st. That means there's only one team that's had an easier defensive schedule than you guys. I dare say that some of the teams that we faced, the quarterbacks we faced, some of the receivers we faced, I know you faced Justin Jefferson. Shout out to you on that one. But we faced Jamar Chase and Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, Cooper Kupp. Yeah. Tyler Higbee. We faced Matthew Stafford. We faced Tom Brady. We faced Joe Burrow. I know you got Carson Wentz and Jared Goff. I know those were number 1 and number 2 picks in the draft back to back, but come on. Come on, man. Come on. It's going to be a game. It's going to be a lot of bragging rights Somebody's going to be mad as hell, and some are going to be excited. I have had in the back of my head, that Dak Prescott is going to play. I've had this feeling all this week. This may be a crazy thought, but what if the first series of the game, Dak trots out there and they just run the football? Could you imagine the Eagles if they came out the first series? Now, I mean, you don't have to pass it. Just run the ball. Just run the ball to Zeke. All of a sudden, the panic that was stretched through would be like, wait a minute. We prepared for Cooper Rush. We got everything together for Cooper Rush. Now here's Dak out here. So you get that shock and awe. And then you go back to Cooper Rush. You don't risk the hand. Could that be enough to throw the Eagles off their game? To surprise the hell out of them? I think it could. It'd be kind of crazy. But see, football, sometimes crazy works. If you, I was getting set up for tonight, I was thinking back to the preseason Cooper Rush versus the Chargers. Our preseason wasn't much to write home about. But I remember that preseason game. I don't do a lot of film breakdown, but there was a drive in that game that was a textbook drive that truly used all elements of the offense, and it made Cooper Rush look so good. And that drive, you can see how the Cowboys have actually used up Cooper Rush this season. Started out running the ball for the first couple of times. They used 12 personnel almost exclusively. And it wasn't that they were just running the ball to 12 personnel. They were actually carrying the ball down the field. They were disguising what they were doing. They would run sometimes to the weak side. They would play action and bootleg. They did all these things that basically kept the defense guessing and on their toes. And all of these things have been things that have worked out for them. Because unfortunately, when you decide we're just going to keep throwing the ball, and teams can put 7 D-backs back there, 7 people in coverage, it's a lot harder to make plays when they know what you're going to do it. You've got 4 defensive linemen that are pinning their ears back, and you only need one of them to beat one of those one-on-one battles to get to your quarterback. But when you can disguise what you're doing so that they have to cover the run and the pass, it makes it that much harder. And that's what this drive did. Now, I truly believe that finally here in year number 3, Mike McCarthy has gotten the cojones to kind of stand up to Jerry and say, this is my freaking job, and I'm going to do it. Because it almost feels like Jerry Jones has gotten a little bit of respect now for Mike McCarthy, more so than he's had for other coaches. And maybe Jerry's learning that I need to be a little more hands-off. Give them what they need and let them do their job. Because so many times in the past, we've lost our quarterback and we've gone down the toilet. So many times in the past, we've lost Tyron Smith and we've gone down the toilet. We've lost both. And here we are fighting the Eagles for what could be the most important game of the season. If we win this one, if we somehow win this game, end up having 3 victories in the division, face the Lions and the Bears before the bye week, with the schedule we have going down the stretch, that's huge. If we lose, it's not the end of the world because we're still 4-2 with the Lions and the Bears. You still have the opportunity to go 6-2 to start the season. That ain't bad, bro. So we're playing with house money here. We're okay either way. We're okay either way on this one. Ultimately, I don't want to hear the Eagle trolls. I don't want them descending on my channel. And I damn sure don't want to wear Lord Brunson's hat. So tomorrow I got to get the sub, got to get my meats and stuff together. I think we're going to have quite a few people over here. I know Rashid will be here for the 1 o'clock game to see the Giants play. And it's going to be a long day, so we'll start broadcasting at about 12:45. And we'll be through the Cowboys versus the Eagles. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. And I will see you soon. Remember, tell the people you love them. You might not get the chance again. And I love you guys. Peace out.